Welcome back to my channel. It is Color Me Bad Lynn, back on an early Saturday morning to share with you my fragrance of the day. But before we get into that, welcome back to my channel. It is Color Me Bad Lynn. Here on my channel, we will talk about all things beauty. I will do fragrance reviews. We'll talk about natural skincare, love, romance, and faith. If this is your first time ever meeting me, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're glad to have you. I'm Color Me Bad Lynn. Hang out for a minute with me. So without further ado, the fragrance that I want to share with you guys today is from the house of Perry Ellis. This is a flanker of a really popular fragrance from back in the late 80s, early 90s. And this is a flanker from that particular house. The name of the fragrance is 360 Red. You may say, yeah, never heard of it. It's good. It does have the original DNA of 360, which I absolutely love. Perry Ellis has very affordable fragrances in their house that last forever. And a lot of their fragrances smell really good. Now, I will tell you that when I first smelled this fragrance a couple years ago, I was like, yeah, well, I didn't pay a whole lot for it. So, you know, if I'm not in love with it, it's cool. And I decided to try it last night just to find out how long it lasts. If you spray a perfume at night before you go to bed and you wake up and you can still smell it, that lets you know it may be some good juice, right? So I sprayed it, didn't care for it. I sprayed it again, kind of layer it because I am a heavy sprayer. When I woke up this morning, I can still smell it, okay? So that let me know right there that it does last. Now, I will share with you that the first spray out, the opening of this fragrance smells a bit synthetic-y. It has the original DNA of 360 Perry Ellis, but with extra berries. It puts you in the mind frame of Captain Crunch's all berries. So it still got that taste of Captain Crunch, but it's all berries. So here is the bottle. Isn't that pretty? Normally fragrances that come in red bottles or have a reddish tint to them, I think I expressed that about one of my Michael Kors fragrances, typically have berries in them that just don't agree with my body chemistry. I'm not sure why, but if you notice, if you're a fragrance lover and a collector, that most fragrances are color coded by the bottle, the color of the bottles. They really are. And so you'll find that if you have your red juice or your bottles that come in, your fragrances that come in red bottles, all kind of have similarities to them. And so I would definitely agree that this kind of puts me in the mind frame of Michael Kors Very Sexy. Not as potent, not as creamy and smooth, but definitely put you in the mind frame of that actual fragrance. I'll bring it in a little closer so you guys can, hopefully you can see that. It's a very pretty bottle. If you are familiar with the original 360, this bottle looks exactly the same except for it's red and gold, okay? Again, this is Perry Ellis 360 Red. This fragrance was launched in 2003. It is a fruity floral scent. It has floral, white floral. It is powdery. It has orange blossom, amber, citrusy. It's sweet. It definitely dries down with the familiarity of the original 360, but like I said, but a lot fruitier. I'm not a really sweet, fruity type of a fragrance lover, but this is a bearable scent. And because I love 360 so much, I definitely would use this fragrance every now and again. It wouldn't be an everyday reach for a scent, but I definitely will keep this in my collection. I'm gonna pop the top for you guys so you can actually see. This is the knob of that actual fragrance. Okay, plastic red, jewelry looking color. This is the actual atomizer. It's gold. No insignia or name of the actual fragrance house on the actual label there. It's just gold. I'm gonna hold it a little closer. Around the top band of the fragrance, you will actually see the label of the house on the fragrance, which is Perry Ellis. I'll turn it slow so you guys can actually see that. I'll turn it to the side so you can actually see. It is a tubular size fragrance. Like I said, this is really pretty, you guys. I can't tell what color the juice is because the glass is a red berry color, so you can't tell. But I wouldn't recommend spraying this on light colored clothes because of all of the berries that are in the fragrance. I would take a whiff of guess and say that it would probably stain your lighter garments. So you probably don't want to spray this on lighter color garments. Okay, so but I did spray this on my pajamas because, as you well know, when you spray your fragrances on your clothing, it lasts longer, it projects better, and it gives you an idea of the actual longevity of the fragrance, especially if you're a person where fragrances don't like to hang out on your skin very long unless they have a heavy content of oil. And I'm that person. And I gotta have a perfume, a parfum, or a eau de parfum in order for that fragrance to stay on me. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a spray so you guys can see the sprayer on it. Beautiful spray. I don't use this fragrance that much, so when I did apply this last night, the sprayer wasn't giving me that elegant of a spray like it just did for you guys. So I'm glad that I did a test run on this so you could actually see the beautification of that actual sprayer. Okay, and let me go in and tell you what I smell. Yeah, so right off the bat, I get the plum. I'm not a plum fragrance girl, so a lot of times, because that plum, like I said before, if that plum is not ripe, it's gonna get tart, and I'm not a tarty, fruity type of person. It just, the fragrance doesn't, that's why I like a more of a smoother fruit, like oranges and cherries, dark cherries and things of that nature. They tend to stay creamier in your fragrance. I do get the cyclamen, and that's what kind of threw me off with that opening of the fragrance, because the opening pop of this fragrance smells a bit synthetic-y. The combination of the plum and the orange kind of threw me off a little bit, but it is a juicy fragrance nonetheless. So I am getting a little bit of the orange leaf and violet. This fragrance has a lot of alcohol in it, so it dies down extremely quickly. Not only does it dry down quickly with a high level of alcohol content, this has a mimosa note in it. So that's something else that kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm not a champagne girl. So it gives you that sparkly note in it. So that threw me off as well. But the jasmine, the Hawaiian orchid, the amber in the fragrance is what kind of ties it in and gives it a little bit of a powdery dry down. And that's where this fragrance got me, because I love a creamy, powdery dry down. Oddly enough, as this fragrance dries down, maybe 5 to 15 minutes after you've applied this fragrance, you actually smell the original 360 by Perry Ellis, which it has the DNA of this fragrance, okay? Surprised me, totally shocked me, because I absolutely love Perry Ellis 360. It's an oldie but goodie, but if you can wear that fragrance, it lasts and lasts and lasts. And for the price, you absolutely cannot beat it. So would I go for this fragrance every day? No, it wouldn't be an everyday scent for me, but for a special occasion or just a nice evening out or evening in, springtime, cool, rainy night, this is an absolute gorgeous fragrance, you guys. Can anybody say red, red, red? All right. So again, this is Perry Ellis 360 Red. I highly recommend adding this fragrance to your collection. If you are a lover of violet, if you love orchids, this has a Hawaiian orchid note in it, exotic. Cyclamen, plum, sheerwood, amber. If you like a powdery dry down, if you love your white florals, like I absolutely love my white florals. If you've got a white rose in that fragrance, if you got jasmine in that fragrance, I'm gonna definitely take a peek and see what's going on with it. So again, Perry Ellis 360 Red. Get you some. With that being said, happy Saturday, everybody. Have a blessed, safe, and beautiful weekend. Don't forget to wear your mask. Bye for now. It's Color Me Bad Lynn. God bless. Peace.